Welcome to the How to Be Human podcast, presented by InnerG. Here we speak our truth and discuss anything and everything from social events to relationships and up through hot button topics. Pour yourself a drink, sit back and relax, because we're on with the show. In this episode, producer Paulus is sitting down with Queen Rajah, Amada Herrera, and Evan Haynes to discuss communication and expectation from a particular male perspective. How do I convince my wife that my physical needs are as important as her emotional needs? I'm reaching the end of my rope with my marriage. After 10 years together, almost 7 with the child around, I'm seriously considering putting my foot down in regards to her inability to take my physical needs seriously. I've gotten angry, upset, and even completely emotional in the past after being ignored physically. She just doesn't seem to care. I don't want to bring up the old trope of dating sex versus married sex, but the stereotype fits. A once sex-crazed and freakish woman has now turned into a maybe once-a-month event, if I'm lucky. We both don't enjoy period sex, but that has just become another dry spell for me. On top of the others, and when we are intimate, it is rarely exciting. She's quiet, and even when she decides to have sex with me, if she's not into it, it's like having sex with a dead body. I consider myself a giving partner, but she shies away from receiving oral more often than not. I was able to make her orgasm on a pretty regular basis in the past, oral or penetration or both. But now it is fewer and far between. It makes me feel sexually unattractive, like our sex life or my physical needs are irrelevant, which is a 3 to 4 times a week of some sort of attention. I'm 37, if that matters. Has anyone else experienced this? Did anything work? I have talked for practically 6 consecutively declining years, and I'm ready to consider breaking up my family for it. I know it seems crazy, and it's everything I've mentioned, plus I feel disrespected. I work really hard for my family. I stay in shape. I feel like I'm a good father to my daughters. I'm emotionally present for her when need be. I don't get it. Any help is appreciated. And he kind of has a little edit in his story. I would like 3 to 4 times a week of physical attention. Our frequency is once per 2 weeks on average, and once per 2 months for something exciting.
Thought I wasn't gonna need a notebook, but
this guy is like, I don't know, like, it's important to have balance, you know. So if his physical needs aren't being met, then maybe her emotional ones aren't being met. Her sense of security around him, her sense of trust in him and stuff is damaged by something. Whether it's like it was in his control or not, you know, it's something that they need to talk about together. That's in the way. It's an emotional thing. So it's like they're both just as important as the other one.
She could be going through depression.
Yeah. She could be just thinking about things in her life and what she wants for herself too. It might be a different thing. She might be coming to a point where she never really stopped to ask herself what she wants in a really long time, and so she doesn't even know anymore. It could be something like that. That's also like distressing, and But if you also feel like you can't talk to your partner about this for whatever reason, maybe you want to just wait and see if that's how what you really feel. Maybe you want to maybe you're just afraid to face it or whatever it is. I don't know. It's different for everybody, you know. That's a hard decision. That's kind of embarrassing too that he's like. But I mean, I get why people like ask people questions and stuff. It's like because you don't know and you need help thinking about something. Mm-hmm. So it's fine to do that. But I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought.
You want to take it up?
Go ahead.
You go ahead. You don't want to go? You want me to go first? Okay. Yeah, I feel what Amada was saying about it. I think ultimately what it kind of reminds me of is like I don't know what their emotional or like their emotional and like psychological health of their relationship is. I mean, ultimately, obviously, there is a emotional and psychological unhealth in the relationship in some way. I don't have enough information to like speculate on what the dynamic of that would be, but I mean, it sounds like that's a good reason. I think all I can really say is that this sounds like a good reason to have like communicate your needs and expectations like more upfront with each other, so that when you are able to make like honest communication about what your needs are and what your expectations are, but it sounds like he expected it to be a certain type of way because how it used to be, but based on what he was saying, but I really don't know about their emotional life, so I can't really speculate on that. All I will say is it does sound unhealthy. It does sound unhealthy to be married and only be making love once every 2 weeks, once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month, yeah. It does. That does sound
With a robot.
unhealthy. So I pray for the.
I mean,
for
that's
the
like
best.
that sounds like that there's something deeper in
I
the
pray for the
relationship that
best.
is like is amiss and stuff. If you can't get into it with your partner and stuff, and like that's a sad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Sorry, I just wanted to add too. Like, I don't think that like what he's saying should be marginalized though, because if he's expressing that's that he's trying to talk to his wife about that, and she don't she's not feeling him or doesn't think that's important. I think that's wrong too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, so I think you need that good communication. But that's a tough one because I have no idea what their what their emotional life are, or what he may have done, or anything like that. So hard to say. What do you think, Ryan?
I also said, first of all, I like the artwork. I like what you did there. Took me on a whole journey. I was trying to make excuses for the character and really see it be deep. But yeah, communication, I think, in this case would be key for them. And then I found it a little bit hard to put myself in the case because none of us are married. So once I put myself in like a marriage perspective, there definitely has to be some type of communication, because I think if you put in a certain amount of time with somebody, I think you can expect certain things. If you guys are married, you guys make commitments to each other, that's ridiculous to just change up on somebody so extremely. I felt his side there was a lot of key points to be sympathetic, to understand, although it was only one perspective. So all of that needs to be dealt with, period. Then I would have to go to the, like they were saying, I'm always talking about the duality. Like, if all this is being expressed, I want to get her side and to see both of the extremes and just try to heal and pray for the scenario. Because it's some deep stuff, but also extreme deep stuff. If you're married to someone, that's different from a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or to me. I mean, because you could easily just leave if you're unhappy somewhere. But if you make commitments and you have a child with someone and you guys want to be a family, you do owe your partner, because you guys are a union, you're one person. It's kind of like, if you're not feeding your partner, you're not feeding yourself. That's slacking to what you guys said to God. So I think both people need to hold themselves accountable to what's not being done for something that was done in the past, because something happened where you stopped doing it, and that's not.
And it's like, why aren't you talking about why?
Right.
It's like, even we can get past the fact that it might not happen anymore. Maybe we can do that, but it's like, talk about why. What's the matter?
Yeah. Communication. That's a good question. I think communication is key for both sides. marriage is a big deal. I think people should take it seriously. People just think it's just all the good times. It's like, no, I do think a marriage is, you know, the hard stuff doesn't get celebrated, but we need to talk about that serious type stuff, because when you have children with people, like, you can't just give up. Like a boyfriend or girlfriend, you could easily break up or whatever. But I guess nowadays people get divorced and don't care or whatever. But I don't think that's how God and source intended it that way. Yeah. So, long story long, real sad for both of them characters.
Me too.
Once a love has something. Yeah.
If you like this content, please like, share, and comment. And if you would like to be a guest on a future episode, you can hit us up on Instagram at InnerG.cooperative or on Facebook at InnerG Stockton. We thank you and have a blessed day.